Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar, Learn the Laws of Health. We're going to take this anxiety release course, the 5-day course that you guys just have come through. We're going to take this one giant leap farther, and I'm really excited to get to deliver some of this content to you today. So here we go. Today, I want to show you how you can instantly let go of the parts of you that created your illness so that you can ignite the laws of spontaneous healing and get your body to do what it's hardwired to do, which is basically fix itself without having to spend countless hours and days and years in textbooks and courses to get there. My goal for you guys today is to help you to expand the lens a little bit and take a bigger look at what we have just come through so far with this 5-day anxiety release challenge, and really help you to step into the bigger picture of how this can impact your life on a bigger scale. So I want to give you this promise. If you stay tuned all the way to the end, I have an amazing, exciting opportunity for you guys, a really valuable gift that I want to give you for those of you who stay on to the end of this webinar, and it will be worth your time, I promise. So a lot of people ask me this all the time: what is so great about what you have to offer? What makes this different from all of the other packages and courses and products that are out there? And I would have to say that the biggest thing that makes this different is that I am not really a hands-on healer. I'm not really the healer. This is a program that is really all about doing your own inner work. It's about self-healing. It's about going inside and healing the body from within, and that's your responsibility, not anybody else's. And so it's really what sets it apart from so many other programs is that this is a very empowering process. It'll change your life. Those of you who don't know who I am yet, my name is Janet Thurgood. I have 25 years in the trenches of experience with anxiety and depression, chronic diseases such as autoimmune illnesses, fibromyalgia. I was dealing with a lot of stuff for a long time, and I actually had some really powerful experiences with my healing journey. I was able to heal all of that stuff and walk away and not ever have to look back. I'm also a quantum healing practitioner, and not only have I witnessed healing miracles in my own body, in my own life, and my own family, but I've witnessed it in the lives of countless one-on-one coaching clients that I have worked with over the years. Now this is something that I teach on a regular basis. My courses and my program has been featured on some of the top news sites all over the internet, including 365 different news media platforms, as well as some of the ones that you see on the screen. So several years ago, when I hit rock bottom, as I was going through some of my worst ever health challenges in my life, I'm the mom of 7, and I've obviously been through that before, but on top of all of the responsibilities and just daily life that gets very challenging for the best of us in the best of times, I was going through these 2 major autoimmune illnesses, and piled on top of that, anxiety and depression and chronic pain. I could barely get out of bed. I was having a really extremely difficult time coping with just being able to take a shower or do the dishes, let alone, interact with my family members, with my children, or with my husband. I literally felt like this picture. I felt like I was drowning in a big ocean of chaos, and I barely had my head above water. It was a very frustrating and agonizing experience for me. So let me ask you guys this. Are you guys also sick and tired of being sick and tired? Like, are you fed up with this? So we now come to the point in the webinar where this is kind of a crucial step for you guys. If you really want to engage with me in this learning process and find out the one major thing that will allow you to step into the mode of spontaneous healing, you've got to take this one step. So I'm going to give you a second to go grab a pen and a paper, and hopefully a 2-sided paper, because you're going to have 2 of these you're going to do. At the top of your paper, I want you to write down, I am fed up. You can add all kinds of colorful adjectives to that if you want to, but I am fed up. Like, in what way is your health challenge, your anxiety, your chronic pain, your chronic illness, whatever it is you're dealing with right now currently, in what way is this really holding you back from being able to live your life the way that you pictured yourself living your life from the time that you were a really little kid even. How are you fed up? What is going on that is really hindering you and holding you back? And you know, if somebody had asked me this question when I was at my worst, literally being sucked into a big black hole, that's how I felt at my worst, I probably would have said these following things. I probably would have said, I am sick and tired of feeling overwhelmed all the time. I am sick and tired of feeling like I have absolutely no control over anything in my life, especially what my body is going to do or not do. And I'm also tired of feeling like I'm totally trapped inside of a body that makes me feel like I'm a prisoner, like I am a prisoner. I'm tired of not having any freedom in my life or flexibility to do the things that I desire to do. If I want to go work out or jump on the trampoline or hang out with my kids or hike with my husband, I can't do some of that stuff because I don't even know from 1 minute to the next what my body's going to do. This is me 15, 20 years ago, by the way. I also would have said, I don't like who I am in this suffering. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like the way I have to live my life. And I don't like who I've become because of it. So that makes me feel fed up. Also, had you asked me this 25 years ago or 20 years ago even, I would have said, I'm fed up of being tired of just getting by day, like living my life in coping mode and wondering whether I'm going to have the energy to cook a meal for my family or even get up and take a shower. Like I just, from day to day, I couldn't make commitments with people because I didn't know whether or not I physically would have the strength or the energy or the stamina or the peace of mind, the clarity of mind to be able to handle some of the stuff. I couldn't commit to anything, not even my own family. And I got really tired of that. I got tired of not being able to be accountable. And then lastly, what I would have said back then was, you know what? This is a huge, tragic waste. It's a waste of a life, my life. I remember at one point in time using literal brute force to get up and go help somebody out who was a part of my church. And this was a 97-year-old woman who needed some help. And so I, with a group of other women, went over to help her out. And I remember listening to her talking about her ailments and her woes and the aches and pains in her body and how she was so tired at midday. You know, she barely had the energy to do much but lie down, take a nap. And as she's talking about, you know, the woes and the challenges of being 97, I remember thinking to myself in my 30s, my early 30s, going, whoa, I'm worse off than she is. Like, she's talking about all the stuff she deals with. That's chump change to me. I'm worse off than she, and I'm 30 something, you know? And it dawned on me in that moment that this is such a tragic waste of my life. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my life. I can't really even live my life. And that was when I decided, you know, I'm fed up with this. To heck with this. Something has got to change, and it's got to change now. And I don't care what the cost. I don't care what it takes. I am going to invest in myself, and I'm going to figure this out, dang it, if it kills me. I'm going to figure this out because I refuse to stay sick and miserable. So, you know, if somebody had also asked me in the same breath after figuring out what I was fed up with, if they had also asked me, well, then what do you want? What do you want out of your life? I probably would have said these following things. I want to be able to engage with the people that I love, with my family. I want to be able to jump on the trampoline with my son. I want to be able to toss a football in the backyard with my kids. I want to be able to go on a hike with my family. I want to be able to go grocery shopping without needing help from, you know, a child or my husband or somebody else because I just physically don't have the strength or the stamina to get it done. The other thing is, I knew at that point in time I wanted to be a positive and upbeat person. It was really difficult for me to be that way because it was so depressing for me to be so ill and so sick all the time that this became a huge frustration and a big issue in my life. You know, at some point in time, I know that as a little child, I was very positive and upbeat. I was pretty outgoing little child, and felt very free and very comfortable in who I was. And so I wanted to have that authenticity back, and I wanted to live my life the way that I wanted to live my life instead of being dragged down into this crazy monster that I couldn't recognize. You know, I also wanted a sense of control. I wanted to feel like if I wanted to do something or engage in something, that I could, and that my body would allow me to do so without letting me down all the time. I really couldn't guarantee that I could leave my house. I couldn't make plans. We couldn't go on vacations. There wasn't a whole lot that we could do because my health was always constantly getting in the way. And I felt this huge lack of control. I felt as if I was a victim in large part to a lot of the health challenges that I was experiencing. And I also wanted, like we talked about before, I wanted that feeling of freedom. I wanted to feel completely free enough to do the things that I wanted to do with my time, with my energy, and with my life, and with my family, with the people that I loved. Also, I wanted to be able to feel like I had something of value to give other people, to inspire them, to lift them, to serve them in some way. And I really didn't feel like I could do this. As sick as I was in my 20s and 30s, I was in coping mode. I spent a lot of time on the floor. I spent a lot of time in bed. I spent a lot of time at home and really didn't go many places because I just did not have it in me. And, you know, I felt like at some point in time in my late to mid 30s, I really felt like what a huge waste my life is right now, because I feel like I'm not even making a fingerprint or a footprint or an impact on anybody's lives, not even my own children. I could barely get up off the floor. I mean, how is that inspiring them? And I also, you know, everybody has gifts and talents. Everybody has something that they shine at, that they're really good at, that they have this drive and passion towards, that they can teach, you know? And I wanted to be able to contribute to the world and society and to my family in a bigger way and have a bigger impact. And those were the things that I would have said back 20 years ago when I was at my worst, at my sickest. If somebody had asked me, well, then what do you want? I would have said all of these things. You know what? Now, as I approach the age of glorious 50, I have these things. I have every single one of these things on my list. And you know what? It's a really good feeling. It's a really, really empowering feeling. So in the process of my own healing journey, I did a lot of things right. You know, I had a lot of knowledge. I spent 30 years of my life really trying to dig and search and study and find the answers to this stuff because I was desperate. I was desperate to get those things on the list of things that I wanted. And, you know, it's interesting because I learned a lot about diet and nutrition. I learned how to grow and cook and prepare my own herbs and herbal tinctures and poultices and concoctions, and how to detox the body, how to take care of a fever or the flu or a sprained ankle or an ear infection. I could take care of my family pretty well. I rarely, if ever, took my children to the doctor. I was pretty comfortable and confident in the way of taking care of just basic, everyday, ordinary health challenges. But when it came to my own health and the deep severity of what I was dealing with as far as chronic degenerative pain and suffering and illness and anxiety and depression, I couldn't get it done. I just could not get it done. And it was a really frustrating time for me. I spent so many years of my life just feeling like I was wasting away, really. I also did a lot of things wrong. I mean, I'm going to share with you a little bit more about my personal healing journey, my story, and some of the things that I would love for you guys to be able to avoid. And one of those is that I waited too long. I refused to spend any money on myself because I didn't think I was worthy or worth it, and I also didn't think that it would help. And number 3, I didn't ask for help soon enough. I waited way too long to to get the right kind of help, I guess. And so I want you guys to be able to avoid having to do the wrong things, to make the mistakes that I made. And that's why I put this webinar together. After doing this for 10 plus years, some of the things that I learned or experienced on my healing journey was that, number one, there is a legitimate reason why you are sick. You can actually find the root components of this stuff. Your body, just because you're going through illness or fatigue or depression or anxiety or something that is going on with you, even pain, physical pain, your body is not ill. It's talking to you. It's trying to get your attention. It's trying to share with you something that needs to change. And if you get really good at learning how to listen to your body, you can change it. You can get to the energetic, electrical systems that can change things pretty quickly, almost instantaneously, if you can tap into that part of yourself. And also, one of the things that I observed as I began working with people more is that the body is really hardwired to heal its own self. It's made to fix its own problems. All you got to learn how to do is play that supportive role and tap into what the laws of health and the laws of spontaneous healing really are. Align with those laws, and it's off to the races for you. So we can cut to the chase. We can change these things at the root level. There's a lot of different things that we can do. And lastly, I wanted to share with you that the crystal ball method does not work. Honestly, I had a literal doctor say to me while I was in his office crying to him after the diagnosis of Candida, yet again, that's after my fourth baby. I used to get illnesses and viruses, and I just had no immune system, and they put me on antibiotics, and every time I would get Candida, so would my baby. And it was like this horrible thing to have to overcome. It would take me 2+ years to overcome the Candida, and I had just been diagnosed with it, and I was crying to my doctor saying, there has got to be a better way. There's got to be a reason why this continues to happen. I mean, what is going on? Why can't we get to the root of this and just deal with it, clear it? And he looked at me and he scratched his head and he said, well, I don't have a crystal ball. He says, in large part, what we do here in Western medicine is, it's experimentative. We experiment and then we take a step back to see if that procedure or that medicine helped or if it didn't. And then we go back to the drawing board and we experiment some more. Never in my life did I feel so insulted. I mean, my intelligence insulted. And I think that was really one of the last times that I ever set foot in a medical doctor's office, because I was just so sick and tired of the same old, and being treated as if, there's no hope for you. Just go home and suffer. I literally did feel like I spent my 90s and my 30s. And now, as I approach the sweet old age of 50, I can tell you this. I do feel better now than when I was 20. But I discovered this the hard way. I spent 25 years of my life searching and digging and struggling, and my struggle is tremendous. It is quite the mighty challenge. And I don't want that for you. I want you guys to be able to cheat and get this done the easy way. So that's why I've put this together. The hard way for me was I went to energy healers and chiropractors and doctors and all over the place looking for these answers. I took hundreds of hours of classes and courses to try to gain better understanding about how the body worked and about how and what to put into and onto my body to assist in this. I learned a lot. I observed countless clients. I actually certified in a tremendous amount of energetic healing and emotional clearing practices and processes that I could help other people with. And I actually got pretty good results helping them. I scoured the internet. I built my own business. I spent time in hundreds of different books on hundreds of different topics. I would average anywhere from 20 to 30 hours a week learning, trying to learn and trying to figure this all out. And then something really amazing happened. It was amazing and hard at the same time. I reached a point in my life where I was nearing rock bottom. I was really, really, really trying to take brute force and make a concentrated effort to improve my health in the best way that I possibly could. And I started working out. I started like really forcing myself to take upon me the challenge to eat better and move more and prepare things for my body that would really benefit me. And I did get quite a bit of benefit from that. I really, really did. At one point in time, I had been working out with a group of women in my local neighborhood park. And about a month into this process, we would work out every day, just doing some weights. I mean, nothing really big or huge, just strength training exercises. And I was really feeling pretty good, actually. But I did not know at the time that my adrenal glands were failing because of a lifelong autoimmune illness that was eating away at my endocrine system. More importantly, my adrenal glands. I had been in fight or flight mode for 20 years plus and did not realize that it had weakened me to the point where exercise was really, really dangerous for me. Anyway, long story short, I passed out. I stopped breathing. My heart stopped, just all because of leg lifts. And as I'm laying there in the grass, my vision shuts down. Everything goes black. I feel the energy, the oxygen, the blood flow being sucked out of my extremities. My limbs all went hard as a rock and curled up into a ball towards the center of my body. And I could feel everything shutting down, literally. And the last thought that went through my mind was, oh crap, I'm going to die here. Right here in this park on the grass. And then the panic and the worry and the fear of it all just flipped over into this completely and totally different experience. Totally different experience. You know, and I have to tell you guys, based on this picture that you're looking at right now, I literally felt like this picture shows. I felt as if I was a trapped prisoner inside of a not very clear body, a body that was broken down, that was just harboring my soul, and that there was no way for me to get out and see the light of day. I felt like this picture shows, trapped inside of a body, inside of a prison, literally. And an interesting thing happened as I popped out of my body, and all of a sudden the worry and the fear and the panic and the distress disappeared. I felt like this picture. And I noticed that it felt totally different. I felt free. I felt at peace. I felt liberated. I felt calm. More importantly, what I noticed was I felt infinity. I felt the feeling of being this infinite being that had no beginning and no end. And that was an incredible feeling for me. It literally felt so good to be out of my body. I remember looking over at all of these women freaking out, trying to revive my lifeless body that was sitting there on the ground. And I remember thinking, why are they all so stressed out? I mean, what's the big deal? I'm right here. And I actually feel better now than I did before all of this happened. The other really fascinating thing that I noticed was, as I looked at my lifeless, almost deceased body lying there on the ground and people trying to revive it, I thought to myself, that's interesting because I thought that was me. That body that's lying on the ground, I thought that was me. So who is this that's having this completely, totally different experience? A feeling of bliss and love and peace and joy and just this infinite, beautiful, intelligent being. Who is this? Like, why haven't I been able to tap into this part of myself before now? And it was a beautiful, glorious feeling. I also witnessed and I also observed that in the world around us, in the infinite space that we really can't see, that we don't really pay attention to as mortal beings in this physical five-sensory world, I noticed that there are literal laws. There are laws of health that we can step into if we choose to step into those laws and garner a completely and totally different experience for ourselves if we'll choose to partake in it. And that was something that I didn't want to lose the memory of that or the image of that. And Long story short, I ended up popping back into my body. It took me about 2 to 3 months to recover from that out-of-body near-death experience, but I came away from it more the wiser, I believe. And my number one goal from that point in time on was to learn to rediscover this person that I felt like I connected with for the first time in ever. That authentic, glorious, beautiful, radiant, infinite, eternal part of me. I was like, I'm on a mission. I am going to re-find that feeling and have that experience again. So I want you guys to have that experience too, but I have to tell you, I don't want you to have to go through what I did to get there. I want you to have it the easy way that does not require you to wander through countless courses and classes and near-death experiences. I want you guys to learn this based on laws, and I have actually discovered a way that you can experience that. Let me share with you my disclaimer first before we get into that. You guys, I'm not a doctor, I'm a teacher, I'm a mentor, I'm a coach. And I have learned a lot about the laws of spontaneous healing, but I make no claims that I personally will heal you or that my methods will heal you. Your body is the healer, and to the degree that you're willing to align with natural universal laws of healing will be the same degree at which you will notice changes in your health. And so it is also important to note that sometimes there's a divine purpose in your suffering. So it's your job to find out what that is for you and then transcend the lesson. Today, we're going to focus on what we talked about at the beginning of the webinar, and that is, I want to show you how you can instantly let go of the parts of you that created this illness so that your body can fix itself without having to spend countless hours and days and years in textbooks and courses to get there. What we have learned as we've gone through this 5-day anxiety release challenge together to this point has been for the sole purpose of helping you guys to step into the realm of spontaneous healing. And I have to tell you that we really only have scratched the surface of this. We've barely touched the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more that I wanted to teach you and show you, and that's really where we're going to go next. I really need to show you the bigger picture of this. So I've put together these 3 secrets. These are the secrets that will steer you in the direction of putting your body into that state of spontaneous healing. And I think that the number one most important component to that is the law of responsibility. That secret is you are responsible for everything in your life. And once you understand that, then you are responsible for everything in your life. And we're going to go deeper into that in just a few minutes. Secret number 2 is that everything happens to you in your life by law and not by chance. And so I want to share with you that there are literal, actual laws that you can step into on purpose in order to make drastic changes in your body and in your life. Secret number 3, you can do more to turn on your immune system, lose weight, and heal chronic diseases in your body in 15 minutes than most people can in 10 years. Secret number 1, this comes from my Learn the Laws of Health course that I've created for you guys, and that is the law of responsibility. They've actually done studies where they've shown that people in general who are willing to take upon themselves 100% complete and total responsibility for everything in their life do feel a greater sense of control than most average people do. And the byproduct of that feeling of control is freedom. When you feel a lot more in control of your life, you have the freedom and flexibility to do more. And a byproduct of that feeling of freedom that you experience is that you end up having a lot more good feelings in your body at one time. Well, medical science actually has done studies where they've shown that people in general who experience good feelings in the body for longer increased periods of time tend to have better mental health, better mental clarity, and better physical health than the averages of the rest of the population. And the reason for that is those good feelings. And so by law, one of the most important laws that you can step into is the law of total and complete responsibility. That's secret number 1. There's a couple of reasons though why we don't. And I think the number 1 reason is people get scared. They feel like they don't know enough. Number 2, we live in a society that teaches us to be constantly doing something. We're so busy that taking upon ourselves the challenge to do one more thing in our day can be overwhelming. Number 3, it can be incredibly confusing to try to figure this all out yourself, and that can cause a lot of frustration, which people are not willing to go there. Nobody wants to feel frustrated. Number 4, we have been conditioned to be victims in our society and in our culture, and as a result of that, holds us back. So we need to simplify this. We need to make it a much more easy process. Secret number 2, everything in your life happens by law and not by chance. And so today, I want to create a bigger picture for you guys and show you that there are so many powerful laws of health that you can step into so that you can live your life by law and not by chance. Secret number 3, I can do more to turn on my immune system and lose weight and heal chronic diseases in my body in 15 minutes than most people can do in 10 years. That's true. Not many people have 2 hours in a dark room in which to meditate in order to get themselves back into this state of spontaneous healing. Most people don't have that kind of time. And so what I've created with this course is the ability for you guys to tap into that part of yourself in the middle of daily life, and it does not have to take 2 hours. You can do it really, really quickly. Secret number 3, many of us can, sometimes we can step into the laws of healing by the study of herbs. We can do cleanses. We can see chiropractors and natural healers. We can radically change the way that we eat. We can drink a bunch of nasty concoctions. But ultimately, it comes down to doing your inner work and healing the body from within. I did a lot of the stuff on this list, and, to me, it was fascinating because a lot of the health challenges that I was seeking to eradicate in my body, using all of the things on this page, it always seemed to come back. I could never fully and completely eradicate it for good until I learned the art of, or the laws of health and the art of healing the body from within and going inside and doing my own inner work. Once I learned that, for me, that was the kicker. So one thing that I want to share with you guys is that you really don't, it's not necessary that you do know it all. You don't have to know everything about herbs and foods and nutrition and exercise. You don't have to know all of the components or all of the laws. You can learn one of the most powerful tools, and just the simplicity of that alone will take you farther faster, to the point where you become your own body's hero and your family's as well. But you know what? I've learned that in the beginning, when you are really dealing with lots of life challenges, it needs to be simple. What I'm going to teach you next is the experiment that almost failed because it was way too easy. I hired a health coach when I was at my sickest, feeling as if I was being sucked into this big black hole that I just could not get out of. And I hired a health coach, and he started to teach me some of these concepts of inner healing and self-healing, spontaneous healing. And I remember saying to him, is it really this easy? Because that doesn't seem like it's going to do anything for me. And I just about missed out on an amazing opportunity by questioning the ease of it. At one point in time, I remember going to bed late at night one night and telling my husband, I feel so exhausted and drained and tired and overwhelmed right now by what's going on with my physical body that I feel like I might just go to sleep and I won't have the energy to wake up. I just feel like one of these mornings I'm just not going to wake up at all. And that scared the living daylights out of him. And so together he and I began looking for additional solutions that maybe we could tap into. And that was at the point in my life where by divine design I came in contact with a gentleman out of New York who became one of my closest and dearest friends. He became my coach, my health coach, and he took me by the hand and he pulled me out of a very, very dark place. And some of the things that he taught me, as he taught me over the phone while I was lying in bed a couple of inches above comatose, he taught me how to do my inner work, from the position of lying in bed when I couldn't get up and make myself a green smoothie or an herbal tea that would help to assist my body. I couldn't even do any of that stuff. I knew how. I mean, I had a lot of knowledge. I just didn't have it in me to get it done. And so together, week after week after week, he would coach me through over the phone, and I would do my inner work, my healing, and slowly and surely, I began to pull out of this. So the experiment was this. In the past, I used to do it the old way, which was seeing doctors and taking tinctures and oils and studying herbs and cleanses and energy healers and all kinds of other practitioners and people that claimed that they could help me. I even tried some pretty huge, drastic lifestyle changes for myself, using all kinds of brute force to do it, to drum up the energy and the vitality to be able to do it. The way that I'm going to teach you now and in the days to come is totally different. The way that I'm going to teach you is to learn the most powerful tool ever, which will help you to regain vitality first. And then at the point when you have more energy and more vitality and more mental clarity and mental health, then you can change your lifestyle if you feel so inclined to do so. But brute force isn't always the best way. The most powerful tool that you could ever engage in is the tool that teaches the person how to heal the body from within and go inside and do their own inner work. When you can put the body into a state of spontaneous healing for long periods of time, it will absolutely change the way that your body shows up for you. It will absolutely change. And a lot of these tools can be engaged in even when you are so sick that you are lying in a bed without the strength or the energy to get up and put on your socks, let alone get up and change your family's diet. Andrew Weil, Dr. Andrew Weil, and is now so many of the other universities throughout this country and worldwide now are accepting the fact that 95 to 98% of all diseases in the body are caused by a state of internal stress. So if you can learn how to go in and tap into what is producing that internal stress and release it and reduce it and dissolve it, you can absolutely change the condition of 95 to 98% of all diseases that show up in your physical body. So this is the one tool, this is the one secret that really changed it all for me. And the one tool is this: center, surrender, and release. When I really learned how to do this, and I got really good at it, I learned how to stabilize the energy systems from within my body, all while lying in bed. I then began to clear and release the old energetic garbage that was stored in my body by neutralizing the internal stress load. And guess what? Relief came. It came powerfully and it came quickly. I learned ways to let go of this intolerable inner resistance to the things in my life that were bothering me, and literally vitality and energy levels increased and returned. My depression, my anxiety, my chronic pain, all those symptoms that I was dealing with before began to melt away. And so one of the most important laws that I want to share with you also today, this will be found in the course that I've created for you guys, is to do your inner work. It must be done, and you're the only one that can do it. I didn't know it at the time, but that's exactly what my health coach was teaching me. This then motivated me to make lifestyle changes that were consistent with a healthy body. So, you know what? I like living a healthy lifestyle. I like eating whole foods. I love exercising. I love doing those things that take care of my own body and my family as well. But you know what, guys? Some of us are so far gone that we just don't have the capacity in us to engage in what we know we should be doing. And so if that's the case for you and you feel as if you are literally too far gone and you've got to do that inner work, then that's what it takes. You got to start by doing that inner work return energy and vitality and strength back to the body so that you can make these lifestyle changes if you decide that that's something you want to do. Over the last week, as we've worked together in this 5-day anxiety release challenge, I've been showing you guys how to do this. I've been helping you to tap into this little bits at a time. So let me ask you guys a question. If you were to look at your life and yourself 5 years out ahead, and you were to have done nothing about the improvement or the change of your physical condition, your physical health and your mental health, if you had done nothing from this point to 5 years out, how do you see your life? What do you think you'll be doing? Will you be worse off? Will you be better off? What does your life look like if you have to continue living your life the way that it's going right now? If you were to ask me this question when I was at my worst and somebody had told me I was going to have to live another 5 years in that condition, I would have ended it. I would have. I don't think I could have taken. I mean, I had already spent 25 years really struggling, suffering mightily. And my experience was very extreme. I had 2 near-death experiences because of it. And I was to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't go on like this anymore. I've had enough. So take a look at your life as it is right now. If you were to stand here and do nothing additional, nothing new, nothing different, no changes, how would your life look in 5 years from now? I want you guys to have more. And so now I'm going to jump into what I've created for you guys, and I'm going to just show you how we roll here. I have created a course called Learn the Laws of Health. And in this course, it's an online home study course where you can access the content materials, the videos and tutorials and the printables and handouts. You can access all of this stuff from any of your devices, your electronic devices. But the cool thing about it, it's also a $1,497 value. This course actually is a new course. This is the beta version of it, but I have sold courses like this with content that's similar to what's in here. I've just refined it, and I've sold them for over $1,000 on the internet to people before, and people have done really well with these courses. So just letting you know, this is a $14.97 value. So let me share with you a little bit about what's involved, what's entailed in this course, and what are you going to learn if you decide to go through it. From the Learn the Laws of Health, you're going to learn in modules 1 and 2 how to stop being the victim, how to locate the unhealthy parts of you and clear and release it, how to learn what your body is saying to you and about you, and how to become the kind of person that no longer requires this problem in the first place. There are actually 6 modules. It takes about 6 weeks to get through this course. If you're fast, it might take you longer if you do it by yourself. Modules 3 and 4, you're going to learn the laws of authenticity, tapping into your higher self. And you know, one of the things that I learned after having these out-of-body experiences is that your higher self really does know the fastest path to healing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take you through a series of exercises that help you to tap into that higher part of yourself, that part of you that I discovered when I left my body. We're going to tap into that part of you on purpose without you ever having to leave your body. And you know what? I call this higher learning because I feel like it's coming from a divine place, from an infinitely intelligent place within you. And this is where you discover your gifts and your purpose and your talents. This is where you learn how to transcend your own suffering. And I'm also going to teach you how to maintain these tools and these laws for daily life. In modules 5 and 6, we're going to go even deeper than that. I will teach you how to transcend your illness, how to get the lessons that you should be learning so that you can transcend it and it doesn't have to hunt you down anymore. How to discover who you get to be now without carrying these problems around that you once had. Also, in module 6, I'm going to give you a full, detailed printables and handouts and tutorials on some of my favorite remedies, some of my favorite things to do for diet, exercise, recipes, and detox. And you know what? I'm kind of a lazy person by nature. And so I don't like spending 3 hours at the gym. I don't like spending a lot of my time with my head buried in books to try to figure things out. I like remedies, and I like things that are simple. I like things that I can only spend 15 minutes a day doing, and I'm done. And the last part of this module, you're going to learn what you came here to give. As you begin to start transcending your illness and your pain and your lessons, and you discover who you really are, then one of the most fulfilling and rewarding experiences a human being can ever go through in their lifetime is to discover what they came here to give, to make an impact, to make an imprint, and to contribute in a very meaningful and powerful, positive way on the planet. And that's where we'll take you towards the end of these modules. Annette says, I can't believe what a 180-degree turnaround my spirit took this past week. I felt like I was in a sea of water with just my mouth barely above the surface, trying to breathe. Thank you. This resonates with me, and it feels so good. I get that high, and it's when you feel good that the magic happens. And that is so true. Lara said, I could physically feel things happening inside my body. It was an amazing experience, one that I might have missed out on if I hadn't come here. Janet was helping my mind and my body and my spirit correct itself. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Again, this course in and of itself retails for $1,497, but today I want you guys to have it for free. I want to give it to you. And here's the catch. I'm going to give you this entire 6-week course. It's yours to keep with the purchase of my exclusive coaching program. And so I want to describe to you in detail what that entails. You know, have you guys ever done this? Have you ever purchased books or courses or series on tape where you had to learn a new technique, or you had to do some kind of a self-help technology to help you get from point A to point B? And you got immersed in the middle of the learning of this stuff and realized, I can't do this anymore. Like, the learning curve was so huge. And there was so much, I guess, intellectualizing of the concepts that you really couldn't experience it because you were so busy trying to intellectualize it. Well, that's where this coaching program comes in. I don't want you guys to purchase a course like this and then not finish it. I can't tell you how many hundreds of courses I've purchased online before and never really got finished. I mean, I got halfway through and then never really finished. So that's what we're going to be doing. So the same concept applies here. If you really want to take something to the higher level and really get it and learn it, if you want to win at this, you need a coach. You need someone who can hold you accountable for what you need to learn and take you by the hand and walk you through it. Sandy Rowland says, Janet is a gifted healer, coach, and teacher for better health and personal growth. I am blessed to know such a giving and talented woman. So today I want to show you what this Private Insiders Club looks like. This is kind of like an inner circle. It's going to be for only members who purchase this opportunity, and this is the only place you guys are ever going to see access to this opportunity is right here on this webinar live today. This is a Private Insiders Club found on Facebook, where once a week I will be going live and doing literal live healing sessions with those of you who are participating in the modules of this course. And so those healing sessions will entail the walking you through, answering questions, taking you through the content of each and every one of those modules for 6 weeks. I'm going to take you through one module at a time, and then we're also going to engage in like a live healing session as if you were here one-on-one with me in my office. And so what you're going to get is live weekly healing sessions with me. You will get 3 months worth of coaching. And that coaching entails me doing a live session once a week for you guys inside of that Private Insiders Club. Now, typically when I coach with people one-on-one, I charge $3,900. So this is a $3,900 value because you're basically getting me one-on-one in a very small inner circle with a handful of other people for 3 entire months. And this is kind of an exclusive, like-minded community. This is a place where we can build a community around the healing of your illnesses. You're going to have lots of hand-holding and Q&A at the same time. And again, I want you guys to realize the value in this. Normally, my coaching clients get sessions with me once a week for 3 months, and they pay $3,900 for that. You guys are not going to pay that much for this kind of inner circle experience. So in the Learn the Laws of Health, you're going to get the entire course of $1,497 value. You're also going to get the private Facebook community, a $3,900 value, plus private hand-holding and coaching with me live. Another benefit and bonus that I'm going to throw in here for you guys is also a live 1-hour class that I taught a while ago on how to get better sleep. I've also added to this course, some of you guys have heard parts and pieces of this, but I've added more to it, and it's a really powerful experience that I take some of my healing clients through. So to recap, you're going to get the Learn the Laws of Health course for $1,497, the private Facebook community, plus bonus number 1, how to get better sleep. I just took one of my healing private coaching clients through this, and he texted me back and said, "Thank you so much for yesterday. I'm so glad that I came to see you. I slept like a baby for the first time since my accident." He was in a horrific car accident and was having a really difficult time sleeping because of the pain. So I took him through this how to sleep better process, and it worked. Also, bonus 2, what you're going to get is the entire series, the 5 videos, the entire 5-day anxiety release challenge course. It is a $997 value. You guys are going to get that as a bonus inside of this course. In fact, on the one page, it will host all 5 of those videos, plus tutorials, plus so much more that I really didn't even get a chance to teach you guys. We're going to take this even deeper, farther, and you're going to learn so much more about anxiety and how to clear it and release it for good out of your body. Also, bonus number 3, I'm going to give you guys, this is a $97 value. It's a 1-hour-long class on how to restore your body back to a state of strength, which actually ultimately is spontaneous healing, but how to put your body in a state of strength in spite of the toxic environment that we live in spite of the toxic electromagnetic frequencies that interfere with the energy of our bodies, in spite of all of the environmental poisons and problems and the technology that's around us all the time that's interfering with our bodies. You're going to learn how to completely and totally adapt to this ocean of toxicity that we live in. This is a $97 value. So let's recap here again. You guys are first going to get the Learn the Laws of Health teaching course for $1,497, the private Facebook community for $3,900, the bonus number 1, how to sleep better, bonus number 2, the entire anxiety release course, all of the videos that we've done throughout this last week up until now, plus so much more, and bonus number 3, how to put your body in a state of strength. You guys, this is a $6,500 value, $6,538 to be exact. So let me ask you this. If all I did was help you guys restore your energy levels and your vitality, and then help you to completely eliminate anxiety, would that be worth it to you? Would that be a worthy investment for you? If that's all that this did. And let me ask you this also. What is it worth? I mean, what is energy and vitality worth to you? What is a body without pain worth to you? What would you pay a medical doctor to give that to you? Not that they ever have. What is it worth to you to be anxiety-free? What would you pay for that? A lot of people are paying upwards of $5,000 or more for private coaching. I did. I hired a private coach to help me, and I spent $5,000, and it was worth it. It was worth it for me to not ever have to feel like I was in bondage of my body again. It was worth it. It was money very well spent. Some of you guys have heard the story that I've told before about my daughter who once was diagnosed with cancer. Well, within the first couple of weeks of that experience, We spent $20,000 in a weekend just to get a diagnosis for her, let alone all of the other procedures and processes that came after that. And we would have happily spent it again and again and again because her life was worth it. It was worth it to us to have her healthy. If you took that same $20,000 and invested it into something that could radically and permanently change your health and your life forever, so that you could get to the root of why you suffer in the first place, would it have been money well spent? I'm asking you. So why don't we do it, you guys? Why are we more willing to hand over that kind of money to people who don't even have the power, who don't even claim to fix the problem in the first place, but rather merely manage it for you? Also, I'm going to offer you guys this last bonus. I promised you guys a really, really, really special gift, and this is my special gift for those of you who stuck through it to the end of this video, and that is bonus 4. For those of you guys who take advantage of this for a very, very limited time of offer, this is the only time you will ever see this bonus being offered. In fact, when my husband looked at this, he was like, "What? Are you nuts? Are you crazy? Don't do that. You're not going to make any money." And, you know, for me, it wasn't about that. You guys gave me a tremendous gift by engaging with me over the course of this past week, by giving me valuable feedback and content that I could use to refine this process and make it better. And so I want to give back to you. And so for a very extremely limited time, up until the point when the web page expires, there's a timer on the page, and when that timer expires, this bonus will go away. This bonus is only for those of you who have followed me through the 5-day anxiety release challenge. You watched the 4 videos, and you've come with me all the way up into this point. You guys are going to have lifetime access to that private Facebook community where you will have access to healing sessions with me once a week till the end of time. And this will go away after the end of this week. So if you guys want a lifetime access to that, please do jump in on this. After this bonus expires and this goes away, you will no longer have access to this opportunity or this privilege. There's only going to be a small handful of people who get to participate in this bonus. And that's my gift. That's my way to give back to you guys for engaging with me throughout the process of this week. I do have a money-back guarantee on my actual course. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee for those of you who will be purchasing the course after the expiration of this opportunity. Jason Smith says, "What Janet teaches is way worth more than what she charges. You will find greater strength in the principles of happiness. You'll find peace in your life and a deep abiding respect for yourself and a love for others. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Learning and applying what she teaches will help you confront the most simple and complex challenges of your life." So let's recap. You guys are going to get the Learn the Laws of Health course, the private Facebook community for $3,900, the bonus on how to get better sleep, this bonus number 2, the entire anxiety release course, a $997 value. Bonus number 3, how to put your body in a state of strength in spite of the toxic environment that we live in, a $97 value. Plus bonus 4, the lifetime access to this private Facebook community that only you guys will have access to. You guys, that's more than a $10,000 value. If you only stuck with me through this Facebook group for a year's time, and what I'm going to be charging for monthly access to these live healings on a weekly basis, you will have spent $10,000 in a year's time. Normally, my one-on-one sessions with people run $200 a piece. If that was you and you came to me once a week for an entire year, you would have spent $10,000. You're not going to spend that today. Also, you guys, I'm nothing special. I didn't develop this information. I just compiled it for you and put it into one nice, tidy, neat place so that you don't have to go scrounging all over the internet to find it. Someone who had a need. And I was highly motivated to make a change in my own life. And so what I've discovered as a result of my own needs, I'm just trying to pass on to you guys so that you don't have to rely on chiropractors and doctors and even other healers outside of yourself. You can go inside and do your own inner work and become your own healer. Here's some more testimonials. The most valuable tool that I have learned is that I have the power within myself to heal my own suffering, says Lynette. I have spent my life going to counselors, craniosacral therapists, chiropractors, and doctors to try to get better or feel good. To know the power lies within is priceless. Lisa says, it allows me to steer my body instead of have my body steering me. I am empowered and feeling more in control over my life and my circumstances. Probably the most important thing is that it makes me feel happier, says Jerusha. I have less muscle tension, so I feel better and I don't go to the chiropractor so much or at all. I have hope that things will be and are getting better in every aspect of my life, as I am no longer a prisoner to negative experiences or emotions. Instead, I process them and let them go. With my outlook and health improved, it's hard not to be happier. Lisa says, the one thing that this process did for me was to teach me how to process and release negative past experiences, negative thoughts, and anxiety triggers. I use it every day and could not live without it. So now you guys can start this journey yourselves. You can have these kinds of experiences for yourselves like I had and like so many of the other hundreds of people who have been through this process with me for $997. You get all of it for one low payment of $997. That's the entire Learn the Law of Health coach course, the live coaching that you're going to get inside of the Facebook group, plus the 4 amazing bonuses. And for a limited time, for those of you guys who take advantage of this within the next few days before the timer runs out, you will have a lifetime access to the private Facebook group. That's crazy ridiculous value, you guys. I don't know how you could possibly pass that up. If you want to take advantage of this right now, I encourage you to run. Do not delay. Run over to janetthurgood.com/learn. That's Janet Thurgood. There's 2 T's right together. .com/learn. One last bit of advice, you guys. And I wish that somebody had told me this when I was dealing with my health challenges, my anxiety, my depression, and chronic pain. I wish that someone would have sat me down and showed me that, you know what? Over the course of your lifetime, money will come in and it will go. And it will come back in again and it will go. And money will come back in again and it will go. But you know what? Time doesn't do that. If you miss your daughter's soccer game, you missed it. You're not going to get that time back. If you missed the growing up years of your children like I did, you missed it. You're not going to get that back. What is your health and your vitality worth to you? Think about that seriously, you guys. Please take the time to think about that and do not waste any more of your precious days and years and life thinking that, oh, it's too much money, I don't have the money. Because money is always going to come in and out of your life. It ebbs and flows. It is replenishable. Money will always replenish. Time never will. Time doesn't stand still, and it doesn't come back to you. One of my biggest regrets of my life is that I didn't do this sooner, that I didn't buckle down and spend the kind of money that I could have and get the results that I could have back in my 30s. So think about that as you guys embark on this healing journey and this discovery of your own self. This is a powerful opportunity for you guys, and I really want to highly encourage you to take advantage of this now, because the bonuses and the opportunities are going to go away, and the price is going to go up. After the expiration of that janetthurgood.com/learn, when that page goes down, it goes down, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can't extend it because it's already set in motion, and this page is automated. So once it goes down, it's going to convert to a totally different page, and the price will go up, and some of those bonuses will go away. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that. Please take advantage of it. Do whatever you got to do. You can scrounge up the money. I know that you can. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity, and we'll see you guys on the inside of that private Facebook community. I can't wait to start working with you and getting through Module 1. See you guys on the other side. Bye.